Progressive Game Jam is an event where 4 game dev YouTubers will compete against each other. Every round, one person gets eliminated, with the third and final round having 3 people left to compete. The contestants will make a game with a theme in the first round and then expand on it with a new theme in subsequent rounds. They have 48 hours to make the game, or they can split it up between 32 hours over 2 weeks. This is the first round, and the theme is the Devil's Price. With all that said, let's introduce the contestants. First up, a newbie to both the game dev and YouTube scene, Dev Banana. He only started posting on YouTube 9 months ago and already has 36.8 thousand subscribers at the time of writing this script. And to put it into perspective just how quickly he's grown, he only had 500 2 months ago, and it only took him a month to go from 10,000 to 30,000. His most popular videos are I made Flappy Bird but in first person and making a rhythm game in PowerPoint. He's not working on any major games at the moment, but knowing him, he's probably remaking a phone game in first person. Next up, we have PhilDev. Coming in at 912 YouTube subscribers at the time of recording, he doesn't upload very frequently, but when he does, you know you can always expect top-notch quality. His most popular video is how to make a laser trap in Unity. He very recently released a demo to his game called Eye of the Portal to Steam. Coming up third, we have Benbonk. He's our biggest contestant by YouTube subscribers at 56.1 thousand at the time of writing. He makes a lot of quick games, yet no matter how short the time is, he always manages to make them fantastic. His biggest video is I made the easiest game, and my personal favorite, 20 devs, 1 game. Also, I just must mention how quickly he edited videos. Like, he released this GMTK 2022 video just 2 days after the jam ended. Consistency is the word when describing the quality. Whenever he releases a video, you always know what to expect. Fourth, and my favorite, we have MattWorks. Personally, I have to say he is the most underrated game dev YouTuber ever. He makes short film level quality and only has 64 subscribers. I seriously get more invested in his video stories than some full movies. His best video is These Pirates Rob Me. Oh, my free time. Title made by me. At the moment, he's working on a game about pirates, like Somalian pirates. Now, I'll let them introduce their own games before the judging round.
So here's how I made this game. When I saw the theme, I looked up the meaning of the Devil's Price, and I saw that it basically means you pay something terrible for something somewhat good. And that's basically what I made as a game. Because I've been very busy the last few weeks, I was able to only dedicate about 12 hours to making the game, so I had to make something fairly simple that wouldn't be too difficult to make in that time. And I ended up settling on a top-down tower defense shooter style game, where you shoot these enemies which are moving towards you. To incorporate the theme into this, I decided I was going to add upgrades where after you defeat each wave of enemies, you'll be able to select one of 2 upgrade choices. Instead of just giving you an increase or improvement in a certain ability, however, each of these choices will also come with a random negative upgrade which will decrease a certain attribute. This does mean there's a bit of RNG, but I find it pretty fun to try and choose wisely based on what you can see of positive upgrades, and it definitely makes it more interesting. After I had all the basic mechanics in place, I made sure to add a ton of polish like sprites, animations, sounds, screen shake and music, attempting to make the best of this fairly simple concept in the very limited time I had. I would have loved to add more to this, like way more different types of upgrades or smoother UI, but unfortunately because of my limited time, I had literally no time left to add anything else, and I just had to submit this. I'm not sure how well it'll do in the jam, since other people probably spent 3 or 4 times longer on their games, and they're probably a lot better, but we'll see.
Hey guys, I'm PhilDev. For this jam I made a game called The Devil's Great Mistake. The main hook is when you move, one of your health is lost. Before I started working on this game, I started by making a different one, but a few hours in I realised I wouldn't have enough time to complete that game, so I scrapped it and moved on to this one instead. This game fits the theme, as the prize part is you losing a life when you move, and your player character is the devil, so combining the two fits the theme. I use a distinct puzzle formula where I introduce the mechanic, expand on it, and then challenge it. This loop hopefully leads to some great puzzle design, and I hope to make it to the next round so I can expand on it more.
Hey, what's up guys, it's Benbonk, and this is my submission to the Progressive Game Jam. The game I made is called The Devil's Dance, and it's a rhythm game where a guy finds a suspiciously low-priced boombox, decides to buy it, and ends up being cursed by the devil. And because of this curse, the player cannot stop dancing, so they have to perform a perfect dance in order to stop this boombox. In-game, the player can use the WASD keys to line up their dance moves when the beat hits in order to shoot attacks towards oncoming minions from the devil. The player has to stay on rhythm with the game, but also has to make sure to shoot projectiles in the right directions to stop the closest minions from potentially hitting the player and in the game. So that's the game right here. I'll include a little snippet after this with the game with music so you can actually tell what it's like to play. And thanks to MistTree for hosting this jam.
Well, hello there, I'm Matt from the incredibly successful YouTube channel MattWorks. Since I heard the theme, I really only had one thing in mind. I wanted to make a game about bribing the devil to let you out of hell. I hate this idea of the game where he's gonna be like a super cool and rad rockstar kind of character, and that was what I wanted to embody the whole project. There were many things I knew I needed to figure out along the way, but I knew from the start I wanted the game to be a shooter platformer, and I wanted the player to make money by robbing demons. I started the game with the movement and the shooting, obviously. The movement had some spice, like variable jump height and jump buffering. Also, the aiming movement is slick when it works. But then I got around to adding the map because I need to add enemies, and I can't do that with just a platform. So by the end of the first day I made 2 enemies, none of which were the, basic one you need at the start of the game. But that's okay. Day 2 was hectic, but I started off well. I added a flying enemy and finally the basic goblin enemy. I made the enemies spawn in waves using a cool point system I made the quite frankly terrible item store. Then I made the dialogue with the devil, and now finally we were on the home straight. Tension was brewing as the deadline approached, but I managed to add most of the polish I wanted, the visual and audio, and I exported the game around 3 minutes before the deadline, finishing the game jam.
Now for the judging. Coming in at first place we have GameDevs. This game was really amazing and such a fun time. Although it had its flaws, we all enjoyed our time thoroughly. The music was calm and nice, and there was only really one bug. Check out GameDevs video for more on that. Now, in second place, MattWorks. Such a fun game and a well-earned spot. Music had a good kill all demons vibe, and there were some bugs, but that's expected for this time frame. This game is recommended for sure. And for third place and the last person to make it into round 2 is Dev Banana. The game, although basic and unpolished, was still a good time, and the music was what really carried it over the mark. And now for last place, unfortunately, we have Bonk. Although a fun game, it just didn't really have that juice it required to take it higher. Still a fun game that's worth your time. And that's all the contestants. I hope you, the viewer, joins me again for round 2, which you will see if you subscribe with notifications. Also, check out all those amazing creators.